SmackDown this week was uneventful. There was no Cody Rhodes. And there was no John Cena. There was also no Randy Orton on the show. The lone star, if you will, was Drew McIntyre. Left to hold down the fort. They're on the blue brand. Andy, does SmackDown have a star power problem?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because when everybody's there, then there's not enough room for everybody.
Okay. Yep.
But at the same time, you know, when you have 3 people and 2 of them are doing movies and everything else, and then you have one who, you know, whatever reason wasn't on,
yep.
It kind of falls into that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they have a star problem, but they have a story problem because like there's nothing going on SmackDown outside of Cody and Drew and Cena and Lesnar, which, you know, even then there's not a whole lot going on this week with that.
Right.
That you can definitely fill the void of Kevin Owens not being there.
Yes, you can.
They're trying to trying to fill that in with Sami Zayn jumping ship. I don't know. It's a weird scenario. I think the biggest pop of the night probably went to Jacob Fatu when his music dropped and
sure.
he came running out there. And then the main event and everything. But I don't know. It's just a weird scenario. There's not a whole lot of interesting stories going on SmackDown right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I get it. Like, the main event was fine, and you're trying to put Sami Zayn in that spot, and I've never been a Sami Zayn fan, so he's fine, but not anybody that I'm going to tune in to see. Jacob Fatu, same way. Like, you and I and some hardcore wrestling fans, we're interested to see what Jacob Fatu is going to do. Like, that dude is clearly on the rise, strapping a rocket to him, that kind of thing. But, Andy, I think there's a clear difference in saying, I'm watching the show to see X versus I'll tune in to watch X. You know what I mean? Like, the way that your intentions behind that, it's almost like, yes, I'm watching to see this one person versus, yeah, Jacob Fatu's on, I'll watch it. And it's not a knock against Jacob Fatu. It's just an example. Like, I don't know. I think you're right. Maybe it's not a star power. Maybe it's a story problem. Because we were sitting here talking before we were recording. It's like, man, in a week where it's not as eventful, I'd love to talk about some of these secondary stories, but are we really going to talk about Michin and Kiana James? And are we really going to say, well, Penta just had a great match on Raw, but what is that? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. There's an issue there for sure.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, I mean, you've got the Aleister Black, Damian Priest stuff that's happening, but I think Damian's still hurt or still out or whatever. So, you know, that's not happening right now. You know, even on Raw, if we kind of look at that, Gunther's out with a nose thing that he's having taken care of.
Yep.
Cena's only there for certain days. Cody's only there for certain days right now because of, you know, his filming schedule.
Yep.
Randy's only there some of the time for whatever reason.
Yep.
So, you know, you kind of fall back again on a Drew McIntyre who is great. I think Drew is one of the top guys in all of WWE when they let him have a chance to do things. I would kind of love if they separated him and Logan Paul from each other a little bit.
Yep.
Because I totally forgot that match with Cena was even happening at Clash in Paris because nothing was really brought up about it or anything.
Right, because Logan wasn't on the show either.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know, why you would do a feud with 2 guys who you knew were not going to be there most of the weeks.
Right.
Because one of them has to be there to build the match. One of them has to be there to do something.
Yep.
But then on the other side, like, Tiffany Stratton's champion, and they don't really know who the number 1 contender is going to be. Is it going to be Jade Cargill? Is it going to be Julia? Is it going to be Michin? Is it going to be Nikki Cross because she was in the back of the truck panel thing dancing? Like,
is it going to be Nia Jax?
Yeah, you're playing. Yeah, like you're playing a lot of intrigue. You got DIY and the Street Profits. Yeah, that was a fun match, but like, nobody really cares right now.
Right.
Because you haven't done anything with anybody. So I don't know if necessarily, because they've got the star power, if they would just build them up in ways that they could, which again makes this whole Karrion Kross thing a little bit more frustrating, because he organically was getting over with a story that was okay, but given up, like give people who are being invested in by your fans, give them opportunities to explore that even more.
Yeah.
I think that they would have a lot more quote unquote star power if they did.
This is not a knock against him at all, but I know that last week on Raw, we didn't hear any Kross chants. Did you hear any on SmackDown or on Raw tonight? Did anything? I know
it was on SmackDown.
It was on SmackDown. Okay.
And when Sammy got in the ring, there was a really loud "We Want Kross" chant.
Okay.
And then I didn't hear any tonight, but I saw there were several signs that said "We Want Kross."
I saw on social that some people were posting about it. I was just curious if anything. Let's circle back to Drew for a second. Now, I know we're going to dive into picks and predictions next week, as of course he is taking on Cody Rhodes for that WWE Championship at Clash in Paris. So without diving too deep into your picks and into your reasons and all that kind of stuff, let's look at this Drew thing from a vantage of this star power storyline issue that we seemingly are at. With Drew being the only one to carry that show, and it seems like at least you and I didn't care too much to watch, and I'm sure there are others that didn't care too much to watch, has Drew lost a step in that star power? Like we were talking about him being the hottest wrestler last year. Is he good enough to carry a show? Would it be a mistake? Let's just hypothetically, would it be a mistake to put the championship on him and have him beat Cody Rhodes and have him be the one to carry the show?
No, because of the fact that he's the number one heel on SmackDown now. After Cena turned babyface, who else is a heel that's a massive contender or a massive? I mean, Solo. Right? Is Solo going to be your number one heel now? I doubt that. I don't think he's lost anything. I think him being out for so long, obviously, he's not going to pick back up where he left off because he was gone for so long. Sure. But I think it's pretty easy for him to get back to that level that he was. If he, does what he did with Punk, with Cody, I think he could easily get back there. I think he could easily build himself back up. So honestly, the more I'm thinking about it, and this is not an official prediction, obviously we're talking about this next week, I'm leaning towards Drew winning because there's so many other baby faces on SmackDown to chase. There's no other heel unless you turn a Randy Orton heel or Sami Zayn turns heel or, whatever the other scenarios, unless Brock is going to become a full-time person on SmackDown, which I highly doubt that's going to happen.
And I don't think you're going to see Cody versus Logan Paul again. Like we've already seen that. I don't think we're going to see it again.
So I mean, at that point you're out of options unless like an Aleister Black is going to get a massive push or, Andrade gets a massive push, turns heel and gets a massive push, or Gargano and Ciampa get a massive push, like somebody like that. But outside of Drew, there's really nobody else.
Right. Yeah. So I think that circles back to my original question. I don't know if they have enough star power. Like if we're circling back to that, we say, when everybody's there, it feels big, but is there enough on both sides to make it worth it? You know what I mean? Because let's just look at that for a minute. Outside of Drew, who's Cody going to face next? Yeah. You just mentioned, you ran through a couple of guys that, we could push up. Carmelo Hayes, you could push him up. Miz, you could push him up because he's a heel. But like in reality, yes, we're about to head to Crown Jewel where Cody will face the Raw champion. So he's got to have something to do in between though. Like what would that be? Just another match with Drew, I guess?
Maybe. I mean, maybe that's what they have planned, is him and Drew have a trilogy that would take us to whatever that show would be.
War Games.
Yeah. Well, there's one. I think there's one before that too in there.
Well, you got you got Crown Jewel in October, and then the rumored one in September. But that's it.
Which is either supposed to be Bad Blood or WrestlePalooza, I think, is one I saw.
The rumors are floating around about that. I don't expect an announcement until I thought about this
pay-per-view before.
until next week, I would say, or something. Next week. I would say they'll get an announcement next week because SmackDown is in Ireland, and that is where the college football game is happening week 0, and McAfee will be there. So I assume that McAfee will have something to do with the announcement since the pay-per-view is supposed to be in Indy.
That makes sense.
If I had to bet. Just me guessing. City Kitty in the chat, when does cross-promotions trades happen? Well, we just got one last week with LA Knight and Sami Zayn, seemingly. An official draft, I think that would be a really good time for it, but
they said it was going to happen right after WrestleMania, and then they said it was going to happen right after
SummerSlam.
Or
right before
WrestleMania and SummerSlam.
Yep.
And then they said there was going to be one after SummerSlam. So
again,
I don't think they know when they're doing it.
No. The dirt sheets have no idea what they're talking about. It's clear right there. That is clear that the dirt sheets don't know. Andy, did WWE say when a draft was going to happen?
No, but they never do.
Okay. So if the dirt
never do.
But if the dirt sheets say, "Oh, it's going to happen here. Oh, wait, it's going to happen here. Oh, wait, it's going to happen here." Sounds to me like they don't have their facts straight, and maybe WWE doesn't know when they're going to do it, but they haven't said when they're going to do it.
If you don't know when you're going to do it, though, then don't send out false information just to make people look like jerks. I hate that. I hate when WWE does that. I think that's such a petty move.
Maybe they did, and maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Listen, after the Seth Rollins injury thing, I'm not putting anything past them like that anymore. They've lost all trust when it comes to stuff like that.
Well, I can't say that they've lost trust from me because I called it from Jump Street. But that's just so I'm not disappointed in it. I wish they wouldn't do it, but I saw it coming.